I'm Ben Mansky, campaign manager for Jill Stein for President, and I'm standing here in Denver, Colorado in front of the Colorado State Capitol because, of course, tomorrow is the first of the Commission on Presidential debates here in Denver. And I'm not the only one here, of course. Sherry Conkla is already here, Jill Stein's coming in tonight, and there are many people who've already been organizing protests against the Commission on Presidential Debates here in town. Looking forward to those tomorrow. We're looking forward to seeing Jill Stein go on Amy Goodman's Democracy Now! And talk back, give responses to the questions that are raised at the Commission on Presidential Debates. We're looking forward to a after rally that we're hosting at the Mercury Cafe. This is really, though, just the second in a series of major steps in the escalating protest against the Commission on Presidential Debates. Last week, we saw Carl Gibson, who is our Fair Debates organizer, organize protests outside of Mitt Romney's headquarters in Boston. Mitt Romney was issued a World's Biggest Chicken Award for failing to take up the call to have a debate rematch with Jill Stein. They faced off in 2002, and Jill Stein was declared the winner in those debates. Next week in Kentucky, Sherry Conkla, our VP candidate, will be joining protests against the Commission on Presidential Debates. And then, of course, in 2 weeks in New York City, just 2 weeks from today in New York City, I think you'll be seeing the largest mobilization and protests against the Commission on Presidential Debates. We want to invite all of you to join us in New York. We're not just protesting, though. There is litigation. We're looking at litigation strategies. We're certainly talking to the other candidates. And we are, of course, building pressure through the media and through things like occupythecpd.org. That website we launched just about a month ago, and we're looking at nearly 13,000 people as of today who signed on to free and equal debates. And we are taking part in debates. Jill Stein is taking part in debates. She's accepted 3 invitations to debate so far. The first of those debates has been scheduled. It will be taking place on October 18th, and then the second debate will be taking place in Chicago on October 23rd. So we have a full strategy that involves street protests, it involves litigation, it involves public pressure, it involves organizing and participating in debates that millions of people will eventually see. And we need your continued involvement and support in building this movement. You have been among those, I should say, who has been building this pressure. You've been telling people that you know about the Commission on Presidential Debates and how our debates, just like our elections generally, have been taken over by major corporations and what we can do to open up the debates. You've been writing letters to the editor. You've been contacting the sponsors of the Commission on Presidential Debates and letting them know that you won't be buying their products so long as they're involved in this illegitimate organization. I want to thank you for doing that. I want to urge you to keep up the pressure. Let's continue to build the momentum, and I think right now we're seeing that the momentum is growing here in Denver. The other thing we need you to do, of course, is to continue to support the campaign, to continue to outreach, to tell people about Jill Stein and Sherry Conkla, to continue to spread the word about the Green New Deal, which offers so much hope, and which we can deliver a mandate for on November 6th if we can get enough votes. And people will see that. Trust me, the political operatives in the Democratic and Republican parties, the pundits, they will see the votes for Jill Stein and Sherry Conkla, and they'll recognize that there is public pressure. The only way you can cast a clear and convincing vote is by voting for Jill Stein in this presidential election. Otherwise, your vote is pretty much lost in the mix. Are you voting for Barack Obama because you like his policies on if you like his policies on student loans? Obviously, probably most people watching this don't, but maybe you do. But you don't like his policies on drones? Well, your vote isn't going to be counted. You're just lost. But if you vote for Jill Stein and we're able to build the momentum for Jill Stein come Election Day and get over 1 million votes, we will have put the Green Party back on the map. We will have put the Green New Deal into the political discourse, and that's something that we need to do. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot. 1% of the vote doesn't sound like a lot, but recognize that that would be 7 to 10 times as many votes as the Green Party has gotten in the last 2 presidential elections cycles. So every step forward counts, and that would be many steps forward. But say we do better than that. Say that we get 3% of the vote. If we get 3% of the vote, that would be the best total for any independent presidential ticket in decades. Very significant. If we get 5% of the vote, of course, which would be unprecedented, we would be looking at $20 million for the next presidential election cycle for the Green Party. So if we can get to 5% on election day, that will help to build the Green Party for years to come. And of course, that's what this campaign is largely about, is about bringing green politics into our elections, into government, all across the country, not just at the presidential level, but from the grassroots on up. Now, the reality is to get to 1% or 3% or even 5%, that will require volunteer time and money. And I want to encourage you to continue to donate. Donate what you donated in the primary. If you've already donated, look at what your cumulative, your total donations in the primary were, and make a donation right now to match that for the general election. You can do that, and I want to urge you to do that. If we can match what we raised in the primary, then we can make that 1%. We might be able to make that 3%. There's a chance we could get the 5%. And that will have made all of our efforts worthwhile this past year. This political system is not designed to allow for opposition or for voices that are dissident, but the country really needs that right now. And I want to thank you for being part of this movement, for keeping up the pressure on the Commission on Presidential Debates, to getting the word out about the other debates that are happening, and for continuing to support the Green New Deal and Dr. Jill Stein and Sherry Honkala this election year.